Now to discuss all of this, Georgia Congressman Jody Hice. Welcome back to Wake Up America, Congressman. Thanks for being
Always
here.
with you. Thanks for having me.
So Nancy Pelosi says that voting for H.R. 4 was like a religious experience, and your state, the state of Georgia, would be in the crosshairs if some version of this ultimately got passed. Your reaction to this party line vote yesterday?
Yeah, her religious experience is based on her religion, which is government. It's all wrapped up in government control, government power, and this is an outright attempt for Democrats to take over the state election laws from all across the country and to give the power, the authority of elections to the federal government, and in particular into the hands of the Democratic Party. This is a horrendous bill. It reshapes our election laws if it actually becomes law itself. And it's horrifying. Listen, there is one thing to talk about voter fraud and to do away with as much as possible fraud. It's another thing to talk about voter suppression. And this concept, this notion somehow that voter suppression is widespread across the country is just absolutely a false narrative all the way together. What we want is the maximum number of people to vote, but to have as little fraud and cheating as possible.
That's right. And of course, Georgia is in the crosshairs on this, and Georgia's new laws in many respects are more open than even the president's home state of Delaware. I want to move on, sir, to the situation in Afghanistan now. You heard the president yesterday. He is sticking with the withdrawal timeline by August 31st. Did you ever think that you would see a president who was seeming to capitulate to the Taliban or even to ISIS for the sake of meeting this artificial deadline?
Yeah, the president he's acting so scared of the Taliban. The tail is wagging the dog right here. We are the greatest military force in the world, and we have our people trapped, stranded, abandoned by the thousands, perhaps tens of thousands in Afghanistan. And the president is taking orders from the Taliban. This is unacceptable. It is horrifying. Our office has been heavily involved in trying to rescue just tons of people, which thankfully we've been successful in helping so many. But to be honest with you, we've had extremely little effort and help from our own State Department, our Department of Defense. We have had some, but the vast majority of help has come from NGOs, and from other countries, and from boots on the ground, just individuals who are willing to help us out. We've had virtually no help whatsoever from our own state.
But you've got members of Congress, you have private citizens, other organizations trying to get people out because they lack confidence in the U.S. government's ability to do this because it's been botched so badly. In response to what we heard from the president and from Jen Psaki yesterday, you tweeted out, quote, "While the eyes of the world are on Afghanistan, House Democrats are busy with money with wings, passing trillions in new spending, creating more outrageous social programs, setting up a federal takeover of elections. Speaker Pelosi's only priority is pushing her radical leftist agenda." Do you believe that Speaker Pelosi is sort of deftly, insidiously using the situation in Afghanistan as a distraction to help advance this leftist agenda?
Yeah, actually, it goes both ways. They're using Afghanistan as a distraction to pass some radical socialist agenda items, but also they're trying to deal with socialist agenda items in order to distract with the disaster that's taking place in Afghanistan. Nothing that the Democratic Party are pushing down the throats of the American citizens right now are good for America. And in fact, you look back since the inauguration, in my opinion, there's not been one single major decisions made that's been in the best interest of our country, be it our energy independence or our southern borders, or now tax and spend and inflation, let alone Afghanistan. Every major decision has been harmful for our country in the last 7 months, and the Democrats are doing all they can to distract from the reality of what's taking place.
Yeah, well, when you've got Bernie Sanders and Nancy Pelosi are really the ones who are running the show, that's what's going to happen.